Hello, today I'm going to do a quick little video about bird keeping in Sedona. A lot of people here like birds. Not that many people own birds, but yet I know quite a few of them do because there's a beautiful bird store, Fur and Feathers on the 179 very close to my house. And so in order for that bird store to keep in business, you know there are a lot of others just like me who do have birds. Now I have had birds since 1997 when I went to Hawaii on my honeymoon, and they were everywhere, and that's where I ended up with my first bird. Unfortunately, some of them have passed away along the years. Sometimes it's very difficult to know what has killed a bird. You give them a necropsy, which is super expensive, and then the vet says unconclusive. That makes me lovely. But right now I have a beautiful white-capped Pioneus. He's my favorite bird. His name's Perry, and I do have this little lovebird that flew into the house, and I have a few finches. So what had happened is I bought this custom-made cage, acrylic cage for Perry, and he doesn't like it. So I ended up getting him another cage, and it's like, well, what do I do with this big cage? And I remembered I bought this from a guy in Sedona who had custom built it for finches, and he had finches in it, and I thought, well, maybe just get a couple of finches. I actually had finches years ago, big finch aviary, and I missed it. So right now I have 3 society finches and 2 zebra finches in there, just plain old finches that you could get at the bird store, and they're really nice. So I'm just going to take this video today and walk you through what I need to go to keep the finches maintained here in the Sedona aviary. So I have this lovebird, and his name is Lovey, or hers, who knows. And here he is. This bird just flew into the barn one day. Not my barn, my ex-husband's barn. And my ex is like, I can't keep this bird. What do I do? So I took him since I already have birds. And the bird has become very possessive. And I have a small cage of finches. And the bird Lovey does not like it when I attend to the finches, when I feed them or clean their cage. It's actually a very difficult cage. I had to set up this little, this netting here because one day, if I have the door open too long, one of the finches got out and flew, and that's not good when you have dogs. This is actually a very nice acrylic finch cage, and I've only got 5 finches in there. But the issue is it's a custom-made cage, and so there's no tray to pull out to get, you know, the seed scraps and all that kind of stuff out of the bottom. So it makes it very difficult to clean. And so I'm going to try to clean it right now and see if I can do it without Lovey attacking. So here goes. First I'm going to try to do is get the bottom newspaper out because it's been there like a long time. And it has a thick layer of seed. So if I can get the bottom layer out and change it out, that would be great. But if not, I'm just going to change the water and the food. So let's see what we can do. Of course, this needs to be done without any of the birds flying out and without Lovey attacking. What I need to do, probably get one of those handheld vacuums and do the bottom of the cage that way. But that's going to be difficult with the finches in there. And it's hard to get them out with their temporary cage. So I'm not going to try that today. I don't know if you can see, but Lovey is nearby hanging out on the TV. Doesn't want to miss anything. Okay, let's try. Let's try again. I had these finches long before Lovey came. But Lovey thinks he owns the place. I also had the parrot before Lovey came. And the parrot's good and doesn't attack anyone. And he's a quiet parrot. When you hear me trying to make a video and there's a bird squawking, it's this little guy. Outside the door, no less. So now I have a giant amount of bird seed that has been spilled all over the floor. So I'm going to have to sweep that up. And I do have all of the newspaper out, but there's this huge layer of bird seed on top of it. I'm going to see if I can get rid of that somehow. So I have a few tools, dustpan, a little dustpan, and a little broom. Okay, so I'm telling you, I got a good amount of bird seed out of the bottom, but not all of it. I'd say 90% of it though, and that's all I'm going to handle. That's all I can handle right now. So I'm going to do a couple more things. So a while ago, I bought these cage liners that were built specifically to go with the bottom of bird cages, and they're really good. I use them for my other parrots. course, now that I want them for the bird cage, the parrot, I can't find them anywhere. Usually I use newspaper, but that kind of gets all old and yucky. Today I'm going to try the dog pads. See if that will work. I don't know. The cage liner's really good because they're a little more stiff than these, but what the heck. I'm going to try these at the bottom. There's still more, birdseed scrap at the bottom than I would like, but right now I'm not, I don't have the energy to get a vacuum. Plus you can see it's very difficult with the finches flying around. And this is good for keeping them from escaping, but not foolproof. If they get out, it's hard to get them even without dogs, but with dogs it's bad. So you put these in the bottom. So my next step is to hang the new bird waterer. I had another one before, but I replaced it because it's a very thin layer of water and it would get all dirty, and I don't think the birds were getting enough water. This one is good. It's got this nice thick, like you can see that much layer of water for the birds, so hopefully you'll like this one better. Then I'll put in the little side cups where they like to do bird baths, give them some more food, and I'll be done for today. Now what I really need to do is get in and clean this outside glass. It's plexiglass. It does have ventilation in the side and the front, but it's also hard to clean this plexiglass with the birds inside. So for right now, I'm just kidding. Lovey is biting me. Hey. Okay, so last step is to top off their food. Now, I don't know if you can see in there, what I have is one of those outside bird feeders. That's like a finch feeder for wild birds, where you suction cup it to the edge and you put in the seed. And the birds really like that. They have a little perch, and they go in and they sit there and they fall around. Oh, what I do is I give them a mix of just any kind of a finch canary seed, and then I give them this egg protein a little bit, and I pour it in there, and it's good for 3 or 4 days, although I do top it off when I see it getting low. So I'm going to give them that next. Now, if you haven't figured that out already, keeping birds is very messy. You have to sweep all the time. There's always seed everywhere, but I like it. I love birds. I like the wild birds, and the finches basically are just wild birds. Would you add the egg protein? So now I just put the mixture in a plastic cup and I pour it into there because that has minimum interaction with the birds and keeps them from escaping. So I decided to try a couple of things to clean this glass acrylic front on the cage. I actually didn't have a good idea before, but then I remembered I had these Nature's Miracle bird wipes where they got some kind of a cleaning solution on them, which is not going to be toxic to birds because it's made for bird cages. And then I have one of these things that I bought in the cage cleaning kit that came with the little broom, and so I'm going to try that now, and if it works I'm going to be very happy. Okay, that wasn't fabulous, but it could have been much worse. Of course, Lovey is standing and waiting, but the cage is a little bit better, a little more clear, and perhaps you can get a better view on what they are up to. I take this temporary netting down. Now, this netting, of course, is to minimize the risk of the birds flying out of here when I'm messing with their cage, and it doesn't stay up that easy. So I had to buy these little command hooks, and I take it down just to keep ventilation as good as open as possible. See, there's a ventilation up on the top also. So that's it. That's it for bird finch keeping 101. Of course, Teddy likes to watch safely as I do anything with the birds. He's very curious and wants to know what's going to happen. So here's a strange thing the lovebird likes to do, is hang out in that little lighting fixture. Sometimes I don't know where he is, and I hear a little ruckus, and I look up, and oh, there he is, hiding in there. He doesn't always stick his face out. Sometimes he goes in, and who knows? Yeah, see? What's he doing in there? I don't know. I'll be messing around with the dust. I'm not thrilled about that idea, but what can I do? So I'm Dawn Dickenson. My channel is Living in Northern Arizona, where I talk about all sorts of topics that pertain to living in the northern half of the state. I also sell real estate up here, so if any of you have a real estate question, feel free to drop me a line. My phone number, my text number, my email is down below in the description, so if you want to contact me, just drop me a line and I will get back to you. I post videos every week here in Northern Arizona, Sedona, Flagstaff, so I'd appreciate it if you like the video to give me a thumbs up and to subscribe, and hopefully I will see you back here again next week.